Today, we're tackling a skill that can honestly make or break a project, writing really effective meeting notes. And I mean it. Get this right, and you'll see your team's productivity just soar. So let's dive right in.
Let me ask you something. Just think about it for a second. Do your meeting notes actually create clarity, or do they just end up causing more confusion? Because clear, concise writing isn't just a nice to have. It's the absolute foundation that prevents misunderstandings and, costly mistakes. So, where do we even start? Well, before we get into the nitty-gritty of meeting notes, let's zoom out for a second and look at the foundation. What actually makes for powerful, effective professional writing? Here's a secret that a lot of people miss. Great professional writing is not about impressing people with a big vocabulary. It's all about clarity. Your main goal is for your reader to understand your message perfectly the very first time they read it. No rereading, no head scratching, no confusion. And when that clarity is missing, well, the consequences can be like a domino effect of inefficiency. Vague notes lead to confusion, which then leads to mistakes, and that, of course, leads to wasted time. All of a sudden, your whole team is out of sync, all because the initial communication just wasn't clear enough. All right, now that we understand the stakes, let's get practical. I'm going to walk you through the 2 core skills you really need to master to write meeting notes that actually drive action and get everyone on the same page. Okay, first up, summarizing. This is absolutely crucial. Remember, you're not a court reporter, okay? Your job is to be a filter, not a sponge. You've got to distill everything that was said down to its absolute essence. Just look at the example here. The before side is kind of all over the place, right? It's rambling. But the after? Bam. It captures the key decision and the specific action item. That is your goal, right there. Our second core skill is using what's called reported speech. Now, this is just how you professionally capture what someone said without quoting them directly word for word. It's the key to turning what can be a messy conversation into a clean, formal record. Now, let's look at this slide to see exactly how it works. On the left, we've got the direct quote. On the right, you see the reported version. Notice the key changes we've made, and they're highlighted right there. We've identified the speaker, Sarah. We've used a professional reporting verb, stated, and we've adjusted the pronoun from I to she. That's reported speech in action. And here's another great example that shows a key rule. Notice on the slide how the verb will becomes would in the reported version. This step back in tense is a subtle but really important part of making your notes sound professional and accurate. It shows you're reporting on something that was said in the past, even if it was just a few minutes ago. Okay, so we've covered the theory. Now it's time to put it all into practice. Let's talk about the concrete steps you can take starting in your very next meeting to immediately improve your notes. Here are your next steps. First, in your next meeting, I want you to consciously practice summarizing. Don't just type everything, listen for the core message. Second, focus on using polite and precise language. It really adds a layer of professionalism. And third, make it a habit to learn and use new professional vocabulary. Let's focus on that last point for a moment. Building your vocabulary isn't about sounding smart, it's about being precise. Think about it. There's a huge difference between postponing a project and canceling it. The right word eliminates any ambiguity and makes sure everyone is on the exact same page. So remember this, your meeting notes aren't just a record of the past. They are literally the blueprint for your team's future actions. Clear notes create clear understanding, and that leads to clear results. As you leave this explainer, I want you to think about one thing. What's the single biggest change you can make to your notes to bring more clarity to your team?